The first one is from Rev Concrete over on Instagram, who is saying a hot take, and the hot take is Chris Jericho's retirement tour in WWE will be better than John Cena's retirement tour. A big statement there. Now, to provide a little bit of context to those of you who didn't watch Wrestling Republic News this morning, Chris Jericho recently liked an Instagram post saying that he's reportedly considering returning to WWE when his AEW deal expires in December of this year. Clark, what's your thoughts on, one, a potential Jericho to WWE return, but two, his retirement tour potentially being better than Cena's?
Chris Jericho is a very smart professional wrestler, and the fact that he liked that post means absolutely nothing. It means nothing at all. He was probably tickled by the idea of it. Who knows if he even wants to retire? Who knows? What if he doesn't want to yet? Wherever Chris Jericho's retirement tour is at that time and in that place, I feel like we'll have a delightful time comparing it to John Cena's retirement tour, which isn't even over yet. Like, what are we doing? Why are we trying to get to 2028 so fast? It's 2025. Let's all relax here. Chris Jericho is still a very active AEW wrestler, and John Cena is actually having a retirement tour. We don't even know how good it is yet. It's not over. It's not over. What am I comparing this to? Why am I so far ahead of this? I don't get it. I'll say this. Can Jericho's retirement tour in any company be better than John Cena's? Maybe. I don't know. We're talking about something that's fiction. It hasn't happened yet. It's not tangible.
You are right, honestly. I can't disagree with you at all. I mean, the one thing I will say is I do think it's very possible this does happen. I do think it's possible if he goes back to WWE for 1 year, maybe has a list of names. You just made the list, but this time it's crossing names off the list. Something like that could be fun to Kavke's K point. But one thing I will say, Clark, is Jericho hasn't wrestled in AEW since, I believe, April 6th this year.
Yes, but he always has that summertime off. That's been recent. A lot of times.
He's never had this long off in
Maybe not
his
this
AEW
long.
career. I think, truthfully, and look, they've scrapped the learning tree now. Both Big Bill and Brian Keith are doing separate things. They've ignored it's even happened over on AEW Collision. I'm going to be honest here. I think it's a genuine possibility that maybe Tony Khan is starting to think, hey, fans are no longer really enjoying Jericho's stuff. His segments aren't doing good numbers. There's a lot of complaints about him. Maybe he's no longer worth the massive check which I am paying him. And maybe him going to WWE and kind of not reviving his career, but just, it's basically just a new environment. Sometimes you need a change of environment in life. And I do think maybe to retire, that might be Jericho's best bet.
You know what I think? I think you just want to hear Break the Walls Down. And I don't blame
I do.
you,
it is a great song.
It's a great song. It's
Can't
excellent.
deny that.
But that's what I think. I mean, honestly, it is what it is right here. I think he can't. I'll answer the question directly here. I think he can have a more entertaining retirement tour in the WWE than John Cena. I think that's possible. We'll have to see.
Shard is saying Jericho is a better worker than Cena. I mean, over the course of his career, undoubtedly, I'd say. Undoubtedly, surely.
Oh,
one of the best rivalries with Cena of anybody, too, right? Like, he got great work out of Cena. I mean,
true. I mean, Jericho's had a really rough few years. Not even few years. He's had a rough couple of years, I'd say. And his work hasn't been great in All Elite Wrestling as of late. He's kind of not really fitted in there as of late. But that doesn't mean that, one, if he returns there, he couldn't do more good stuff. But it also doesn't mean that if he goes to WWE, it's going to be the same. Sometimes you do just need to change of an environment. It doesn't necessarily mean, especially if it's short term, that the Jericho Vortex is heading back to WWE. DCX Warlord says, I thought Dez betted Cody would turn heel at SummerSlam, saying that he would shave his head.
It's on its way. It's on its way.
It is on its way.
And he will.
Yeah, we're just working on it right now. It will happen. Don't worry.
We're still
and there will be a video about it too, guys. I do promise you that. But Dez, up next, do you think Chris Jericho could have a better retirement tour than John Cena?
A better retirement tour? I don't know exactly, just because I feel like the John Cena retirement tour is like so special just because of how much presentation was put on it. I don't think they would do something similar for Chris Jericho. As much as I like Jericho because I'm a big fan of his, right now though, I'm not going to lie, it's been kind of boring. He hasn't really done his thing in AEW. I mean, I wrote a book report about his book that actually happened in 8th grade because I liked his book a lot. My hot take, like I mentioned before, is I really do think Chris Jericho will come back to WWE in 2026. Even before all the speculation happened, I just had that weird feeling. I'm like, it just seems like there's not a lot of things for him to do in AEW, right? In terms of in-ring ability, all time, he's great. Right now, though, he's just kind of there. And if he can put on good matches on WWE, I mean, look at CM Punk, right? I'm a big CM Punk guy. In AEW, he wasn't putting on the best of matches. In WWE, with the more slower pace, it works really well. So I think it would be a good idea.
I do hope you are right to your point as well. Slower pace too. It could be interesting. Shard saying Jericho's a better worker than John Cena is right now, Clark.
Probably.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree.
I'm going to be honest. I think it's really close. I don't think there's a front runner between
I think
either
it's
of them.
pretty razor thin. I think Jericho's capable of doing slightly more than Cena.
Oh,
as far as like bumping and working more versatile stuff, I think they're both equally pouring their heart and souls out, and they're veterans. So like John Cena is going to give you everything that he's capable of right this second because it is his retirement tour.
That's true.
But
that is true as well.
Speaking, if we're talking about like versatility, like I don't know if John Cena could get squashed in a way that Jericho could if it was necessary for a card in a hypothetical situation right this second. So if we're talking better worker, I think Jericho has a deeper bag. I think Jericho could sell better in that scenario, the other side of the coin, not necessarily just like the getting over, but putting over. I think Jericho I would give the nod to in that regard. So I see where Shot's coming from.
I'm going to be honest. I have absolutely no idea. I think I'd have to see them both face the same opponent the same week to actually know.
That's
like
fair.
it's so razor thin and hard to compare there. Eugene saying that his matches are more entertaining than Cena's as well. So quite a few people are saying it.
I wouldn't go that far. I feel like
I
Jericho
wouldn't either, Des. But
I think it depends on the match.
not even then.
that's
Like
true.
it's my opinion, at least. I feel like the last good Chris Jericho match was Eddie Kingston in Revolution. I feel like that was one of his better matches because even then, his matches are just kind of there. You know what I mean? Before he put on some really good matches, I even like the match he put on with Moxley, Danielson. He's had good matches there. Cassidy. Now he's just kind of there. I do want to add one more thing. This doesn't have to do with matches. If Jericho comes back, Kevin Owens, the reunion, come on. Festival of Friendship. I feel like they got to do it. You know
they're
what
not
I mean?
friends
I think
anymore.
it would be
Remember,
such
he
a
already
funny
turned on him, so now it's got to be like sketchy. He needs to.
Yeah, that's the point. He needs to be like, are they friends? Are they not friends? Is one going to turn on the other? And it, honestly, if they run that back, that would just be brilliant.
What?
And I also, I think it was, who was it who said? I think it was Calf KSK said in the comments about that list. Yeah, I would love that. Just have a retirement list going through the names. Yeah. And it's not revealed what the next name is. So it's, you're on the list. Is like, now, you're not my next match. Like, that could be a lot of fun.
I'm no longer on the list.
Yeah, that's what he says after. Oh, there's so much potential there. I'm going to be honest, I made a joke earlier saying, I bet when he goes back to WWE, all the Chris Jericho haters who've complained about him for the last few years will suddenly be big fans. And I still kind of stand by that comment, but at the same time, I do think a change of scenery at times can do people good. And I do think in the case of Jericho, it would do him good.
Very much.
I agree. I'm with you, Ben, because I wasn't the biggest fan of Chris Jericho. All time, I am. In AEW right now, though, the learning tree gimmick, it was funny, but that's not my thing. You know what I mean? But with WWE, if anybody can reinvent themselves, it's the Ayatollah of Rock-a-Rolla. It's Y2J. Let's be honest.
Exactly. And I think AEW has kind of gone more towards, well, definitely since 2019, it's gone more towards the in-ring even more so. Mm-hmm. Whereas I don't think some of the Chris Jericho sports entertainment stuff he does, like the Learning True, which I do think had potential, I think it would do better in WWE just because of the difference in programming between the two. That's nothing against either. It's just WWE is a bit more entertainment and, gimmicky. whereas AEW's a little bit more in between the ropes.
He can do some
Yeah.
more like improv entertainment type stuff. I actually
Yeah.
hear where you're coming from on that. Like loud and clear. That's a good idea.
Absolutely. Shard says Jericho is on my Mount Rushmore, even though he's a bit cringy now, but he's a little overrated.
I like that. That was an introspective thought by
Yeah.
Shad there.
That
I
was
gotta
so
give
true.
him credit. No, yeah, he's.
But I don't think
He's-
many people would have him on the Mount Rushmore, so how can he be
Storm-
overrated if you're saying he's on yours?
whoa! Don't open up that can of worms with like.
I will. I don't think many people have Jericho on their Mount
I would.
Rushmore.
I would put him close to Mount Rushmore, if not on mine, pretty easily.
I don't
in
hate
fact.
it. I really don't hate the idea of that. He's
Absolutely.
I
done
don't
so
mind
much.
it, but I don't think the
I
average
don't
person
think-
would.
I think a
Yeah,
lot
that's
of
fair.
more
Right.
people than you think would of my generation.
Shards clarified his comment. He meant overhated. Completely
Oh,
agree on that
yeah,
one.
yeah, he is
That makes a lot
overhated, I
more
agree.
sense.
Yes. Yes.
But, oh, that comment threw me through a loop for a second there.